Hello everyone and welcome to Broughy Verified number 1. Now this is kind of like a mini series within a series really. This is still part of my content creator series, but I'm actually going to be focusing on other races than my own. Now if you did watch the last episode in this series where I talk about the track changes that I did to my own tracks and the fact that my tracks are available on PS3, I did actually mention that this was coming, and this series is basically going to be me showcasing the best races that I think you guys have made. And not just you guys, Rockstar as well. And that's what this first episode's about, Rockstar created races. So how's this all going to work? I'll explain a little bit more since this is the first episode. So what I'm going to do is basically when you show me your races, if I like them, I'll put them into a playlist. And when we come to make a video and show the video, I'll show that playlist in full. So that playlist will have maybe 8 to 10 races, all full of races that I think are very good, that have been Broughy verified and created by you guys. And then basically I'll show that playlist in full, and then I'll show some races, some footage from me and other people racing on those tracks as well. And then everybody else can click the link in the description to download that playlist to their game and, you know, play it and have fun with that. So it should work out quite well. You know, I hope that by the end of this to have a fair few good playlists that, you know, people can just would be their go-to playlists, whether you're on PS3 or Xbox 360. I will be testing for both. I will be creating playlists for both, and I'll make sure to include whether they are 8-player or 16-player playlists as well, whether they have lap races or point-to-point races, things like that. So yeah, you know, I hope to have a good collection of playlists with a good collection of races, all for you to enjoy. So I'll tell you in a little while how you can get Broughy verified, but first of all let's focus on the first 2 playlists that I've created. Now these are available for both Xbox 360 and PS3, and they include Rockstar created races as well as 1 or 2 of my own. So let's have a look at them. So Broughy Verified 1 is an 8-player playlist for 360 and PlayStation 3, and it starts with my own race, the inner loop of the Los Santos Grand Prix circuit. And I will actually be putting, you know, my own races in these playlists every now and again when they feel appropriate. So next up is Cutting Corners, probably one of my favourite Rockstar created races. It's where I did all my testing. It was obviously going to become Broughy verified. Next after that is Dockyard, so 2 very strong Rockstar created races to start off with really. And after that we have Greenwich Mean Time, which is a little bit longer. Still quite skillful race, but a bit of a longer one, so you might want to do a few less laps for that one. After that we've got Over the Hump, which is, you know, a really good race, a really enjoyable race. I think it requires a fair amount of skill. Again, a really a good length lap race for that one. Throughs in the Hills is next, and that's a bit more of a suburban tour around the outskirts of Los Santos, but still got quite a few decent technical sections. And we've got the first track that was actually introduced in a DLC, which was Wee Wang Park, introduced in the business DLC. It's actually quite a small technical track, but very interesting, I would say. Definitely worthy of being Broughy verified. And we finish the playlist with Los Santos Grand Prix. The full circuit finishes up the playlist for a nice little test right at the end. So Broughy Verified 2 is another 8-player playlist with Xbox 360 and PS3, and it starts with the Los Santos Grand Prix outer loop, so the opposite to what we started the first playlist with. And these tracks in this one are a bit more fast, a bit more flowing, I would say. So Dorset Drive is next, and this was actually introduced in the Valentine's Day pack. It's quite a good little technical track with some nice corners. And after that it's Downtown Underground. It's pretty much a favourite of mine, I would say. You know, really nice track, really well made track. After that we've got Greenwich Mean Time, which is quite small but has some good little sections in it, some fast flowing corners. And following that we've got Learning Curve, which is another sort of suburban type track, kind of like Throughs in the Hills, so that kind of features in both playlists. After that we've got Stadium Tour, which is it's one that I don't see played much, but I really like it. It's got quite a lot of good corners on it, separates the men from the boys. And after that, Vespucci Dreams, another quite technical track, another one that for the true racers out there out of Rockstar created circuits. And again we finish up with the Los Santos Grand Prix circuit as the final test. If you're in a championship leading position, you've got to prove yourself on this track before you can actually come through and win. So I think that'll probably be a feature that, you know, my tracks will be in there, and the Los Santos Grand Prix circuit, obviously that's my favourite track, certainly. It will probably be in a few of the playlists, I would say. So yeah, those are my picks for kind of the best Rockstar created races. Those are the Rockstar created races that I've verified essentially, and I think are very good. Now there are only 12 there. You know, there are a lot of Rockstar races that don't fit the bill in terms of, you know, being off-road races or point-to-point races at the minute. I am only focusing on lap races, but those are what I consider the best. And if you want to boot up those playlists, you would have a good little championship. They're all 8 players, 8 races, shouldn't take too long, and it would, you know, those are what I think the races that take the most skill to manage, and they certainly provide some good races between them. So the links for those playlists will be in the description. Just click those, click add to game, and then you'll be able to boot those up when you're in game. So to the question that's probably on everybody's lips, how do I get Broughy verified? How do I get featured in a video with my race? Well, all you have to do is link your race in the comments down below. All you have to do is comment on the video with a link to your race, and I'll check it out. Now there are a few caveats to this. First of all, put in the comment whether it's PS3 or Xbox, because obviously I can test on both now. I will have a PS3 playlist and Xbox playlist for all of these verified races. I can test on both. I will showcase for both platforms. So let me know whether you're on PS3 or Xbox. That's the first thing. The second thing is that I'm only going to be focusing on lap races at the moment. I will be focusing on point-to-point races in the future, and I'll let you know when that is. It shouldn't be too long. But for this first sort of batch, I want to only focus on lap races. So, you know, the checkpoints all come around, and it's basically a circuit, and you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, however many laps that you want. That's all I'm going to focus on now. So if you do have a point-to-point race that you want to show me, keep it under wraps until now, until a bit later, and then I'll let you know when I'll start focusing on point-to-point races. The third thing is that don't show me any races that are anything like jumps or jump and die. If it looks like the race flies down a mountain, if there's jumps all over the place, buses in the way, things like that, I'm not even going to give it a look. Basically, I'll click the link, I'll check it out first on the computer. If it looks anything like that, I'm not going to look at it. Basically, what I want from this series is to create a playlist, create a batch of races that are all serious races, so they require some skill. They will, you know, separate the men from the boys, essentially. They're serious races. They aren't just, again, on a long highway, something like that. I won't be verifying that either. I won't even give it a look. The next thing is that I only want to see a maximum of 2 races from each person. Obviously, I'm not doing death matches, so if you do have a death match, don't show me it. I'm only doing races here. And if you do have more than 2 races, only show me your best 2 for now. Basically, you know, I don't have the time to just go through 30 different races from all different people. I don't have the time to do that. So I want you to show me what you think are your best 2 races, and I'm only going to accept 2. If you post 3 races, I'm not going to look at the third one. I just won't bother looking at it at all. So I'll only look at the first 2. So only show me your 2 best races, and to be sure that, you know, you get your race in there that you really want and you think has the best chance to be Broughy verified, only show me 2, because if you show me any more, I'll just take 2 at random, basically. So yeah, 2 races as a maximum. Also, don't spam the comments. If I see anybody with multiple comments with different races in, or even the same races, I'm just going to discount it completely straight away. Also, don't post on any of my other videos with your races. Have all of your races in the comments on this video. Basically, 1 comment per person showing races. You can do other comments if you want to, you know, talk about the actual content of the video, but with your links in, only 1 comment, and don't comment on all of my other races as well. If I do see any double comments, I just won't bother looking at your races at all. You know, I'm not going to do all this straight away. I'm going to look through all the comments at the same time, so I will see if people comment twice. Remember also that I'm not going to be reviewing all of your races. If you put a race there, it doesn't mean to say that I'm necessarily going to play it, or if I do play it and don't like it, and it doesn't get Broughy verified, I'm not going to, you know, go and mention it and tell you what you can improve or anything like that. I don't have the time to do that. But there is I'll put a link down in the description to a really great thread on the GTA forums where you can get your races reviewed. So be sure to check that out if you want some feedback and want to improve your races. I'm literally just going to focus on reviewing the races in terms of whether they become Broughy verified or not, and whether I feature them in a race and a playlist. One last thing, don't show me any off-road races either. I want to focus on tarmac lap races at the moment. off-road races, point-to-point races, things like that, anything extra, they will come. I will be verifying races like that, but for the moment, at the start, I want to focus on lap races, on tarmac. If there's a little bit of off-roading, not too bad, but I don't want to see sort of the whole thing off-road and only off-road vehicles are selectable. I want all cars to be selectable, you know, it should be open. Also, make the descriptions good as well, you know, there should be a decent title, a good description that gets you involved with the track, things like that, you know, it should be, the settings should work with the race, you know, make it a whole experience. Don't just put up a track and leave everything as default or whatever. You know, put some thought into it. Well, obviously you don't have to, but that's your best chance of getting Broughy verified, essentially. So I look forward to playing all your races, guys. Be sure to give the first batch of Broughy verified races a try as well by clicking the playlists down below, and let me know what you think about those playlists as well. So thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.